Hi, welcome to another painting adventure with Bruce from Habowski Studio. And today I'm going to be trying to paint this tree over here. And I'm going to sit down this time and relax a little bit. Nice and breezy today, a beautiful summery day here in Maine. And I'm going to be sitting up in some shade right under this tree. And here's all my painting gear. And as you can see, I got a 6x8 heavy-duty tarp rigged up on top of my rucksack, and those are the items I brought: my tripod, paint box, and the other gear. So I'm just going to rig up the tarp, set up a little shade in case light changes. I don't want any light on me, and we're going to do that. I'm going to show you how that looks. If you want to see how to string it up, you can watch my plein air painting bushcraft shelter video. So let's get going. So here's my makeshift little lean-to, and of course I only had one tree, and you solve that by going out in the woods here, getting a few broken sticks, that sort of thing, set her up, tie her down, and it's pretty cool. It gives you some options. So get a view from inside here. This is looking out, and of course you're not going to have protection with pouring rain blowing and coming in at you, but this acts as a nice windbreak too, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I'm going to get started on the subject is the tree over there, and I think I'm going to do it on an 8x10, just a little quick something, and let's get started. I'm using expanded palette still. The umber, Mars Black, burnt umber, Mars Black, titanium white, ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, cad yellow pale, cad red, alizarin crimson, and that is some Viridian back there. And let's get started. I'm just doing a umbery wash with a size 6 filbert, and just getting the dynamic thrust of the tree with some burnt umber. And I'll probably, I'm going to do a value sort of thing like this, and then in areas where I'm going to have light, I'll wipe out some of the umber. And I just want, I'm going to be working on getting more vitality in my painting. Now what I like about that tree is that, of course, it's old. Who knows how old it is, and it's all split in the middle. So that's my focus in the painting. And I'm trying to get some umbers in there, and then what I do is I take the brush with a little turpentine, wipe out the lights. I do one stroke, wipe it on my towel, maybe a little more turp, stroke it again, so I keep pulling off the paint. Otherwise, if you keep going back and forth, it's not going to work too well, and it really gives texture, and that's what this is going to be fun about this. So that's what's going on right now. I'll keep you posted. So we're kicking along here, just putting in patches of green to create some tones. Now I'm going to start working on some base colors of the tree. Get that established, and some of the background I'm going to adjust a little bit to make the painting more interesting and not take away from the tree. Like in the area over here, a little busy, so I'm just going to try to put some generic tree shapes, that sort of thing, to set off the tree. So let's continue on. Kind of liking a little wedge of shadow, so we'll see how it tags along here, and really trying to watch my use of cool greens and warm greens. So that's the test today. So I've decided to close off the yellow in the foreground. I just thought it'd make for a better composition, and it does. I like it a lot, and I'm really changing that area back here. Really starting to feel now like a distant hill with trees a little bit, and that this little sentinel has been growing for years out in the woods, as opposed to right here by Colby. I mean, it's kind of in the woods, but I just wanted to change it up a bit and make it a little more romantic view of it, I guess you'd call it. And I'm going to start blocking in some general tones for masses of the leaves, so I can get that in there. Okay, now I got some bits and leaves and that sort of thing. I'm going to start cutting in the sky color, start bringing out the leaf pattern a little bit, and that sort of thing. Really Just a quick little oil sketch. It's only about a half hour in, so might only spend another 15-20 minutes. Just a little practice, having a nice beautiful day. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be out in the woods? I'm actually over here by Colby on some running trail by the woods that they mow. And yeah, let's continue on. Okay, this little oil sketch is about done, and got the gist of the tree. Now I'm just going to work a little bit on the background to set off the leaves in the foreground, and call it good. Head back home and do a little relaxing, and yeah, we'll take a look at it when I get home. I always like to get away from the subject because we get caught up in sometimes, oh, it doesn't look like it and that sort of thing. We need to kind of make it our own. So until later. Okay, I'm finished here on site, and when I get home I'll do a little post-painting little clip video. I've done that on a couple pieces, and I like that idea. I can get home, get away from the subject, and really kind of think about what went right and wrong in the painting session, and overall I like it, and I'll explain why when I get home. The tarp worked out pretty good. I had it tied off to the tree like I showed you, and pulled it out like a little lean-to and staked it down with some twigs. So wind was coming from my back a little bit, but it did not blow in too much at all. Then I took the one side that didn't have a tree, took a dead stick, staked it twice, a little bit of an angle on each side. So that worked out pretty good. And show the front again. There it is. I'm all packed up. I'm ready to go home. Just got to take down the tarp. Okay, I'm finally home. Got home a little bit ago, and actually it seems a little more cloudy now. I don't know. Anyway, this is I guess we'll call them post-painting videos on seeing away from the subject and that sort of thing. It's, I think, sometimes really important because we can get really caught up in the subject, and it's important we step away and take a look at when we get home. So here's what I got. Try to hold it real still. I'm going to pan around here as I talk, try to. Now, the main purpose of going out there, I was going to go to the creek stream thing in Colby Woods to paint, but then I said, you know what, I want to go back to this tree that I saw, I don't know, a couple days ago, and I want to practice mixing my greens and really try to practice warm and cool greens and that sort of thing. And I think it was pretty successful. I wasn't after a draftsmanship level drawing of a tree, though it turned out pretty well, as you saw in the beginning of the video. I wanted to go for that expressive kind of movement of the tree, and it really feels alive. I really like it, and played around with little cooler blue greens in the painting. So that's I'm really happy with. Now got to work on the leaves a little bit, but that's not really a big deal. It was really to go out and do an oil sketch, and I mean, I've only got like, I don't know, 50 minutes, an hour in this, so I'll go back in, probably check it out, maybe play around, get some rough textures with a palette knife in the tree trunk. Might be a nice touch, but I really feel pretty good about it. And it's important, don't get too precious with your paintings. Just sometimes they're just to go out and be in nature and pick something you want to do. Like today I said, you know what, I want to work on mixing my greens, and that was the focus of the painting. And as a side thing, it's like, yeah, we'll working on my composition and stuff. And I really like how the background turned out, because as you see in the video, the background's nothing like that, but it needed to be something different, and that's okay. I was just painting the tree. I wasn't painting a place that someone's going to visit 100 years from now. So That's something to keep in mind too. And originally the tree didn't have a little dappled sunlight or the foreground here, but as the foreground may have had a few little touches, but I thought it'd be a nice, obviously a tree's not a solid object, you're going to have some dappled sunlight. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Check out some more videos, and if you're a subscriber, thank you so much. And anyone has any comments, leave in the comments box below, and thanks for watching. Oh, real quick, last few seconds of some details. See how close this gets. I'm just going to pan around. So I used pretty much a 1/2 inch brush and a 1/4 inch brush, and was trying to be very fluid bristle brushes, so I can see if I was using a bigger round brush or something kind of soft hair, it'd be a whole different look to the painting. So that's it.